Hi everyone, this is Flora the Good Luck Lady, and this is the December Runecast for 2014. I drew 3 runes as part of the practice that I normally do, and these are our 3 runes we got. So this is the first, second, and third. Othala, Jera, and Elhaz reversed. So I'm going to give you the interpretation of what I believe these mean. For me, Othala means fate. It means the things that our ancestors sent down to us, our Kenfetch, the folks that guard over us and protect us. And it's all the little stuff that are the details of their giving. Sometimes it's personality traits. Sometimes it's an ability to go into business and do well. Sometimes it's your smile that's so uplifting, your sense of humor. It's all those things culminated and passed on to you through your ancestors. And it takes a moment, boils up in your body, and then you decide what it is that you want to pass on as a legacy to those that you love. So in December, you're going to have a lot of experiences with different family members and people contacting you. Lots of Christmas cards, different things that come your way. Holiday cards, good wishes, dinners to go to, and parties. So you get to radiate out that energy of your ancestors and what it is that they gave you over all those years of their living and passed through the bloodline to you. As you go through this month, think about what it is that you want to brighten and what maybe some of those characteristics are that you want to kind of say, chill out, I don't think I need you around anymore. So cut yourself free from the things you no longer need. You don't have to carry the burdens of your ancestors. You don't have to carry some of their nasty habits on. But there are some habits that are beautiful, some things about your ancestors that are shining and glorious. So you want to magnify those because it's your good name that carries it on. So Othala is about that. It can also be about wealth building, and it's the kind of wealth building that's slow going. It's not the win the lottery kind of wealth building. It's that wealth building that's go slow and grow rich. If you've got one of those methods, that's the way to go. Don't expect an immediate big bang of wealth, but take a look, make a commitment this year to put just a little bit away so that you can give it to those beautiful descendants that you've got coming. So it's not just a time for thinking about your ancestors, but it's also a time about thinking about your descendants. And I'll say whenever you're going and you're doing all of the gift giving, if you have nieces and nephews and your children, instead of buying a bunch of trinkety things so they have 100 presents under the tree, even though it's fun to watch them open all those gifts or give those gifts, instead think about a long-lasting gift. Music lessons, acting lessons, writing lessons, anything that's going to excel and expand their life. That's a long-term kind of gift. That's a legacy that you can give them. I remember my parents giving me horse riding lessons whenever I was 14 years old, and to this day I use those skills because I live out in the middle of nowhere and we have friends that have horses, and I find myself relying on those skills. And I only rode for a couple of weeks, but it never lost. This year we gave our daughter music lessons. So it's one of those things where you have to think about it. Spend some time contemplating it. Maybe it's a set of books that you truly loved growing up that you share with those kiddos. So what legacy are you giving instead of a trinket or toy that will go on a shelf and be forgotten? What experience are you giving your descendants and all of the people that they'll touch in this life? That's Othala. That's what this is about. Okay, Jera has to do with the sun wheel, the wheel of the year. This is coming to a time, and we're supposed to pull in our harvest at this time. Half of the year is full of sun, and half of the year is darker. So that's what Jera is about. It's about fulfilling all those goals that we had. We go back and we look at the year, and we're like, some of those I should have just never even made a decision about and put that on my piece of paper as a goal. Well, maybe you should have. So what can be salvaged from that? What can you put forward? What can you give to that goal? Maybe it's a goal that you do need to cut away because you grew beyond it. So write that you grew beyond it. Then cherish those goals that you did achieve. What gifts and treasures did you get from them? And what seeds will you take from them? Because at a harvest, it's not just that you pull all the fruit. It's also that you collect the seeds. So looking at your goals over the year and what you have accomplished, what seeded so that you can carry it forward into 2015. What good things do you want to carry forward? All right. Now, the things that need to go in the compost pile, those goals that just you weren't supposed to do anyway, put them in the compost pile. Take the energy out of them, put them back into your body, and send them back out into a different goal. Manifested, changed, it's okay. You're not a loser because you didn't get everything done that was on your list, okay? You're a winner because you got one thing done. That's how it works. Okay, El-Haz reversed. This is an interesting thing because if you can see, there's a hand on my wall is full of all little milagros. And El-Haz always reminds me of a hand. Sometimes it's a hand reaching up. Sometimes it's a hand reaching down. And in this case, it was a hand reaching down. A lot of times people see that and they think of protection and they think of the elk and they think of all of these things that are associated with it in a lot of books about runes. But for me, it actually has to do with divine intervention. Sometimes it's me sending my desire, but this time it's me receiving a blessing, and it's also you receiving a blessing. I believe by the end of December, everybody's going to receive a significant blessing. Some kind of divine blessing, whether it's an inspiration about where you're headed in your life, or whether it's a reconnection with an old friend that you really missed. I think that's what's going to happen in December, so I'm looking forward to it. When I get that rune, I don't freak out. A lot of people are like, oh, I should put up protection. I think actually you should be open to receiving that blessing that's coming down. Sometimes El-Haz with the 3 prongs at the bottom represent the 3 aspects of our soul, and it also represents the fetch, which is this part of our soul that goes out, comes back with information and says, hey, check out this stuff, this is the feeling that I have, this is what I sense when we walked into this building, look at all these people, are you hungry for chocolate? I mean, it's just this ongoing internal television show of all the stuff you've experienced and you're in touch with in the world. Your fetch shows you all of that and puts it up in your mind and almost in your face and says, okay, is this what you want? Okay, is this what you want? And you have to discern what it is. When you are aligned in yourself, when your deep belly and your head are aligned with your heart, it makes discerning so much easier. So this rune can also be a reminder to sit down and align yourself every day. I do it by touching my deep belly, by touching my forehead, and then touching my heart, and saying that I'm aligned and ready for the day. It's a simple practice, but it makes me stop and take pause. Am I really? I have to think. Is my stomach all tied up in knots because I'm anxious and worried about whatever it might be? Is my head out of control because I'm thinking all of these thoughts of the stuff I still have to do? Or and when I put those two together, are they calm? Is it something I would want to come out of my heart and out of my throat and out of my speech? Is my heart soft because of it? Or is my heart pounding because of fear or anxiety? I check in with myself. So El-Haz is reminding us to chill out, to align yourself. And when you're aligned and your heart's open, then you're more open to receiving the blessing. Okay, so in November, I drew a fairy card, and so many people wrote me notes and talked to me about it that I decided to do it again this month. So I use the Brian Froud Heart of Fairy deck whenever I do a fairy drawing. So this time, it's the leaving. And I think this is perfect because we're leaving 2014 behind. And for so many people, 2014 was a giant hammer smashing through their life with chaos. And I felt for them deeply. I was in a position of witnessing a lot of it for people and confirming their sorrow and their chaos and what was going on in their life. And we had a loss in our family that was really huge for my father. And so I witnessed his grief. And in all of this process, what I could find was that there was always hope. There was always this glimmer of people helping one another out. And that's truly what we take with us. That's the thread we carry with us into 2015, that we can reach out and we can touch someone and be connected. And not just through social media, but in our neighborhood and our friends. So this month is about keeping that thread strong and letting go all of the extraneous, weird chaos that happened in 2014 so that you can step into 2015 with that soft heart. So deciding what you're leaving behind. And whenever I get to this place in my life, I just say, what is it that I need to stop doing? Come on, Flora, step up to the plate. What is it that I need to stop doing? And let's stop doing it. And then I stop it that day. I know it's harder for some people than others. but sometimes you just have to go cold turkey with a bad habit. So stop the bad habit now so that when you adopt the good habit in 2015, it'll stay and your resolutions will be there. So I hope that you have a wonderful holiday season, a great December, and most of all, have fun. All right? So this is Flora from The Good Luck Lady. Leave me a comment or come visit me over at the website because I would love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear how your month goes and how November went. So I'm sending you all the best of blessings, and bye for now.